the two biggest ideas that I want you to take away from this webinar above everything else we talk about. The first is that everything in assessment and grading is contextually sensitive and nuanced. There are very few absolutes. And so what works in some building might not work to the same degree in another building. So we always have to pay attention to context. We've always got to pay attention to nuance, and we've always got to pay attention to relationships. And you know your context better than anybody. So understanding that no matter what ideas I put forth to you today, there may be some things that you say, you know, that might not work in our school, or in our district, that might be a challenge because of this particular issue or this particular topic. So know that part of your responsibility in this work is understanding context. All of us who do this work can stand on stages, do webinars, and tell you sort of our experience and some of the big ideas, but it's really critical that you pay attention to that sort of nuance of your own context. The second big idea is we have to remind ourselves that standards-based grading simply means grades based on the achievement of standards. And sometimes we lose sight of this because standards-based grading has become a catch-all for so many different topics that feel absolute. I'll give you an example. Most of us would equate the concept of, or the practice of reassessment, we would equate that with standards-based grading. But remind yourself that the idea that grades be based on the achievement of standards, and then the question of how many opportunities students have to achieve proficiency against those standards are actually two different questions. So the idea of standards-based grading simply means grades based on the achievement of standards. And, you know, more than 2 decades into the standards movement, that really shouldn't be that controversial. But on the flip side, there become questions about, you know, how many opportunities do students have to reassess? And that, again, speaks to the contextual sensitivity. Very different in kindergarten through, say, 3rd grade, 5th grade, versus high school, versus juniors and seniors in high school. So all that contextual sensitivity and understanding clearly what standards-based grading is, and then there, of course, are tangential topics that go alongside of it because of our focus on proficiency, our focus on mastery learning, our focus on providing ongoing feedback and helping kids, you know, fulfill their trajectory to achievement. So the bottom line is that there is a lot of local decision making, and we have to know that there is no one way to do this work. And anybody who tells you that there is, they're just not telling you the truth, other than the fact that we want to make sure that our grading practice don't violate any principles of sound assessment. So there's plenty of local decision-making to be made, things that you can do. Your district might be different than my district, might be different than someone else's district. So all of that is that contextual sensitive. I cannot emphasize that enough, is that take the ideas and contextualize them and make sure that they are a fit for your context and culture. And as long as you're aligned with sound assessment practices and principles, you're going to be in a good place.